The Price of Fame is a story of it's a story of redemption. It's a story of overcoming. It's a story of coming from small beginnings to rise to the heights, if you will. And it's a story of the relationship between father and sons and husband and wife. I came from a humble beginning. I adored my dad, who was not only a pro wrestler but an amateur champion out of Nebraska with a storied career, and I wanted to be him. And I lost him when I was 15 years old. He suddenly dies of a heart attack, and I moved to a small town in southern Arizona, Wilcox, 3 traffic lights. I watched my mother sink into despair and alcoholism. But in the midst of that, I stayed true to my convictions and to those principles because I wanted so much to be like my dad. And I earned a scholarship to play college football. I went to college, I played football, and then I went on to professional wrestling, and I climbed to the heights of fame there and success. But along that journey, I also succumbed to some of the things that come along with it. And you know, people say, wow, it's great. Oh my gosh, it must be so great to be famous because you know, everywhere you go, people recognize you, and you walk into a building and 30,000 people are screaming your name, and well, what the thrill of that is. Yeah, it is a thrill. I said, but what those people don't see is when the show is over and you go back to the empty hotel room with the television, and you go back there the next night and the next night, and you do that sometimes almost 300 nights a year. That place becomes a very lonely place if you're not grounded. And so you go down to the bar and have a beer, and a beer turns to 2 or 3, and down that slippery slope you go. And that's exactly what happened to me. And that all culminated when I called home one day and I was faced with my wife finding out that I was committing adultery. And I said, I don't want to talk about it on the phone. I'll be on the next plane home. She said, no, you won't. You don't live here anymore. Wow. You talk about a wake-up call. It was the lowest day of my life because I realized that I had put at risk the most valuable things in my life, the love and devotion of a committed wife, as well as the future and the stability of my children. And for what? To stroke my ego, to fill a void. It was ugly. And so I said, you know what? I'm never going back to this place. And I turned my life around. I can tell you with all assurance today, my wife and I are closer than we've ever been because I made the right decision. And if I can do it, you can do it. The Price of Fame. Tuesday, November 7th, select theaters all over the United States. Go to thepriceoffame.com and find out where it is in your town and go see The Price of Fame.